What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Today is a very, very good day, and yeah, why tell you when I can show you? But first, it's 12:45 p.m. Let's get down to business. Okay guys, so before we break into this box, I'm sure most of you already have a pretty good idea what could be in here. Before we tear into it, I want to say a few thank yous, okay? I really do have the best viewership in the world. I truly, truly do have the best subscribers, the best followers over on Instagram, the best viewers in general, okay? You guys rock, and I know every channel says that. I know every social media person says that, but I really mean it, okay? After I made that very heartfelt, heartbroken episode about missing out on the blue Alpinist, I had more than one person write to me telling me that they got one and they'd be willing to send it to me for a reasonable price. You know, people emailing me, people writing to me on Instagram, people writing to me here on YouTube, and I don't know. I'm very, very lucky. I'm very blessed. You guys rock. It's crazy that you guys would be that nice when you could easily make a very decent profit, you know, reselling it. It's really cool that you guys would be willing to send it to me at cost. Well, the first person that wrote to me is someone I'm very close with on Instagram, Marek. Be sure to follow him here, okay? He takes a lot better pictures than I do. He's a ridiculously good photographer, and he has some really, really cool watches. He actually bought 2 blue Alpinists during the Hodinkee release, and he sent both of them to other watch collectors, and he didn't get any profit. He sent them to us at cost, and he's just, you know, a bro looking out for other bros. So that's really awesome. You're the man. I love you, dude. This episode is dedicated to you because I wouldn't be doing this episode without you. So thank you so much. That's what's in this box, the blue Alpinist, and let's bring the camera up close and let's tear into it. All right, here is the Seiko long box, and it should have an SPB089 inside of it. That's right, the blue Alpinist. And real quick, 'cause I know I'm gonna get a ton of questions about it. This is my Benchmade Vex. This is actually the first production, 202 out of 1000. The blade's all scratched up. I've had this thing forever, but it keeps a darn good edge, man. This is a great knife. So funny, whenever I take a picture of this on Instagram and I mention, you know, my Benchmade, people are like, oh, I think that's a Spyderco. No, I know it has the hole, but this is definitely a Benchmade. Anyway, let's talk about the freaking watch. Come on, that's why we're all here. Oh man, okay, let's go ahead and crack this baby open. I preemptively put down my little leather mat here so that I can take off my Rolex Explorer 2 and put on the blue Alpinist. But let's go ahead and take a look first. Man, I love experiencing this along with you guys. Makes it that much more special. Okay. All right, let's do this. No one cares about the paperwork or the card. Oh, here it is. So a lot of people were upset because the initial renders made the dial look matte blue. And this one is shiny and, you know, sunburst. It looks a whole lot like the green dial as far as finishing goes. And it's absolutely not matte. So if you guys were unhappy that they were releasing a matte blue dial, then don't worry, it is sunburst. And if you guys were excited about a matte blue dial, then I apologize because this is not it. Now I'm gonna switch out the lens and get up close here so we can really inspect this. And you're probably seeing close-ups as I talk already, but man, this thing is beautiful. And I love the gold indexes on my SARB017 Alpinist. But this looks great with just the regular silver indexes and that clean blue dial. I think it's gorgeous. And case back. Let's see, limited edition. Mine is number 857 out of 1,959. Man, so happy to have this in my collection. I am the hugest Alpinist fan. I absolutely love my SARB017, and to have this SPB089, it just, I am thrilled. So guys, upon further inspection, in certain light, kind of does look a bit matte. Like, it's not totally sunburst and it's not totally matte. Either way, it plays with the light beautifully, again, with those silver indexes and those hands. Just an absolutely gorgeous piece. And for a Seiko fanatic like me, and for an Alpinist fanatic, you know, this is just an amazing watch to have in the collection. Now, inevitably, I'm going to get people asking me, does this change, you know, my rant from earlier? Does this change how I feel about limited editions? See, in this light, it looks matte. And then in this light, it looks more sunbursty. Does this change my opinion about limited editions? No, absolutely not. I think that the release of this watch was handled poorly, and it's kind of multifaceted. It's a multifaceted mistake. So upon the initial release with the H company, you know, no one was told about this. It was just dropped, and people pounced on it, and then people got waitlisted. All right, so what did that do? Well, the people that really wanted it, that put themselves on the wait list, they weren't expecting Seiko to then have a secondary release a day later, right? The people that were waitlisted, they weren't being hyper vigilant about looking for this watch elsewhere. And so once it was dropped for a secondary release through Seiko themselves, it got pounced on and scooped up immediately there also. So again, just a really sloppy, bad release all around. And I'm very happy that I got one and I didn't have to like support the scalpers. I didn't have to support the resellers. Again, with my first initial rant video about this watch, I kind of vented about the evils of watch collecting, and in this video, it's almost it's an expose on the benefits of the watch community and how amazing having people in your watch fam, in your little group, how amazing that is. Because again, this is all about people loving watches and sharing information and sharing your love for watches. That's the whole point of this channel. So I'm very happy, very blessed that I have those people in my watch community. And yeah, again, we didn't have to support the stupid resellers. Okay, people, I've set the time and date on this baby. It's time to take off the Explorer 2 and put the blue Alpinist on the wrist for the first time ever. Let's go ahead and take this one off. I actually can't do this in front of the camera. Gotta go behind the camera. Behind the scenes, people. Look at that. Wears exactly the same as the SARB017. No surprise there. What I will say is the strap that comes on this one is like worlds away from the strap that comes on the SARB017. I wouldn't even call the SARB017 strap leather. That thing was terrible. That thing was atrocious. This actually feels quite nice. So again, if you're gonna go through the trouble of getting one, at least you're getting, you know, a nicer strap with it. But no one really cares about the strap because you're gonna change it anyway. But yeah, loving it already. And guess what? As difficult as this watch was to get, I'm going to wear it just like I do with all my other watches. This is not going to be a safe queen. This is going to be an Alpinist, and it's going to be worn as such. So I will enjoy this watch and not baby it, and I'm sure it's going to have some decent scuffs on it by the end of the month. Because if I don't wear a watch, I'm not going to own the watch, right? Hello? All right, so the Explorer 2 is back on the wrist because we're gonna do a bit of a comparison. I figured why not? There's not really much of a difference here outside of some colors, but I have both of these watches here with me, so I figured let's put them back to back. All right, so here's the SARB017 green dial Alpinist that we all know and love, and then of course we're moving on to the blue dial Alpinist, the SPB089. I'm gonna have to get used to saying that new reference number because it's a bit foreign to me, but from a visual standpoint, as we can see, they're pretty much exactly the same, right? Outside of the indexes being a different color and obviously the dials being a different color. But then when we look at the case back, there are some more differences. So this is obviously the limited edition. It says limited edition. Then you have the Alpinist insignia, and then you have the number, so 857 out of 1959. But take a look at the SARB017's case back. So we're gonna have to take off this single piece. This is a crown and buckle American made series leather NATO. By the way, because I know I'm gonna get questions. Okay, so look at this. This is the case back on the SARB017. It has the Alpinist insignia, but it is very nicely engraved into the case back. Whereas the limited edition variant, it's just kind of etched onto the surface. So the SARB017 has this nice deep engraving, whereas the limited edition just kind of has this simple etching. So that's actually kind of a bummer, if I'm totally honest. There's a bit more detail on the SARB017. But there you have it, guys. This is the hard-hitting material I bring you guys. Can you believe that these Alpinists have different case backs? No, but seriously, I'm being honest with you guys, kind of a bummer. But nevertheless, this new blue dial Alpinist is still an Alpinist, and it's still beautiful. And again, I didn't pay over retail. I didn't pay a scalper that would gouge me on the price. So I'm happy with it. I'm absolutely happy with it. And these two are now happily in my collection. All right, guys, well, there you have it, my blue dial Alpinist. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out during this very, very special unboxing. Now, guys, I know a few of you are lucky and picked one of these up as well, but for the rest of you, do not sweat it, do not worry, because in all honesty, I actually like my SARB017 Alpinist more than I like this new one, because when I think Alpinist, I think green dial Alpinist, I think SARB017. This is the one I fell in love with. This is the one that really kicked it all off for me. So yeah, the Alpinist is the SARB017, but this is just kind of icing on the cake. Again, I'm a huge Seiko fanatic. You already know that. I'm a huge Alpinist fanboy, so I'm very happy to have it. And again, thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you so much to everyone who was like, you know what, T3, just take mine. I'll sell you mine. You guys all rock, and thank you for your willingness to respond and support the channel and support me. And man, yeah. It just fills me up with joy, kind of gives me tingles, kind of gives me butterflies, knowing that there's so many awesome people out there. So everything that's wrong in the world, who cares? You guys all make it right. So thank you so much, and Marek, you rock. All right, so guys, as usual, I tell you to shop at the Time Teller shop to support the channel even further. Now, unfortunately, I probably won't have any of these blue dial Alpinists, but I might just have a SARB017. So if you click the link in the description below and shop around, you keep me on YouTube, and you also might find something that every watch collector needs. Watches, watch straps, watch toolkits, watch winders, the one-stop shop for the watch collector like you. And guys, if you're new here, if this is your first time joining us here at the Time Teller channel, then please go ahead and click that subscribe button, and please, please, please hit that bell icon, okay? YouTube does a terrible job notifying my subscribers when I upload, and yeah, I upload all the time, so I don't want you to miss out. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with other watch enthusiasts, other people you think would enjoy this. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it. All right, well, if you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing to the channel, because there's a whole lot more where that came from. Also, I have no idea how YouTube works yet. Hopefully in the future I'll get the hang of it, but I think there should be some recommended videos for you to watch. There might be one over on this side of the screen. There might be one over on this side of the screen. Who knows where they're gonna be? YouTube's always changing. Life is always changing. You know, there's a lot to learn about life. We'll save this for another episode. Anyway, click one of these videos, watch it, subscribe to the channel. I love you.